Hey everyone, welcome to this deep dive on Forever Employable with Jeff Gothelf.
Oh, cool.
We're be looking at how to kind of flip the script on your career.
Okay.
Not chasing jobs, but having opportunities come to you.
I like it.
And we're going to be diving deep into his book and really kind of dissecting it.
That's great. I'm excited.
Yeah, so no matter where you're at in your career journey,
Mm.
uh, this is going to be relevant.
Definitely. And I think Gothelf's approach really resonates because it speaks to this kind of entrepreneurial spirit,
Right.
this mindset of constantly improving and reinventing yourself.
It's not just about like being employed, it's about that mindset.
Precisely. It's like taking ownership of your growth.
Yeah. Okay, so he lays out a 5-step plan.
He does.
And the first step is so intriguing. Plant a flag. What's that all about?
So plant a flag. It's all about owning your expertise, your point of view.
Okay.
He uses this funny anecdote from Eddie Izzard
Oh, yeah.
about the British Empire using flags to claim territory.
Right.
And he's like, do that with your professional life. Define your area of expertise.
Like stake your claim.
Exactly. And he gives examples like Steve Jobs with Apple.
Brene Brown and vulnerability.
Exactly. Owning that niche, even if it's in a crowded market.
Right, so you don't have to be like the only person doing it, but you're staking your claim.
Your unique experience is your differentiator,
Okay.
even in a crowded field.
I like that, and he brings up this 100 true fans concept,
Yes.
which basically says you don't need to appeal to everyone.
You just need that small, dedicated audience who really resonate with what you do.
Right, so it's finding your tribe, not
Like-
trying to please everybody.
Think Voodoo Donut.
Okay.
They stand out in a crowded market by being weird and creating that distinct brand.
I love that. Okay, so we've planted our flag, we've claimed our territory.
Now what?
Now we move on to step 2.
Okay.
Tell your story.
Okay.
This is where Gothelf highlights the power of storytelling for building credibility.
I love that he actually uses his own experience,
He does. Of feeling replaceable at 35.
even as a successful UX designer.
Yeah. And I think that resonates with a lot of people.
Absolutely. It makes it feel relatable.
You know, we all have those anxieties, even experts.
Totally. And he goes from that anxiety to publishing and Smashing magazine.
Wow.
A real turning point for him.
So finding your voice is key.
Sharing those experiences, the good and the bad.
Yeah.
It's that authenticity that makes your story connect.
He even developed his own language to talk about design,
He did.
which became part of his brand.
It's like build, measure, learn from the lean startup or Yogi Berra's famous yogiisms.
Right. Those distinct phrases become part of their brand.
They stick out.
Okay, so we've planted our flag, we're telling our story, but what happens when that story takes us in a totally unexpected direction?
Ah, that's a great question. And that leads us to step 3. Follow the new path.
So embracing the unexpected.
Exactly. He realized that all this talking about design
Right.
was actually taking him away from doing design.
Interesting.
It was a dilemma.
It's like he was becoming obsolete.
In a way, yeah, he was worried about younger designers surpassing him.
So what did he do?
He reached out to some senior designers who transitioned to thought leadership,
Okay.
and they assured him that these opportunities would come from the visibility he was gaining.
By putting himself out there.
Precisely.
And did that happen?
It did. Speaking engagements led to meeting Eric Ries
Wow.
and then a book deal.
From speaking to a book deal, that's amazing.
It's like a domino effect.
Okay, so he gets this book deal, Lean UX.
Yep.
Was it smooth sailing from there?
Not quite. He admits to struggling with the first drafts.
Really?
Almost gave up.
I can imagine it's daunting writing a whole book,
Especially your first one, but he persevered.
which shows commitment to that new path.
And he gained so much knowledge, not just about writing,
Right.
but also the business side of things.
Did this lead to anything else?
He ended up co-founding a digital product studio
Wow.
directly because of the platform he built.
So he's walking the walk.
He's living forever employable, taking risks, and turning those potential failures
Right.
into learning experiences.
This is so inspiring, but what about those of us who aren't, entrepreneurs?
Yeah.
Like people who are happy in their current jobs.
Gothelf argues that these principles apply whether you're building a personal brand
Okay.
or advancing within a company.
So you could be forever employable inside an organization.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He even shares how he landed a big consulting gig by becoming the expert in his field.
So becoming a thought leader internally can make you indispensable.
Without a doubt.
But how do you navigate office politics?
Oh, that's the tricky part.
Right.
He recommends transparency with your boss and HR,
Okay.
making sure your efforts align with company goals.
So it's like a balance between self-promotion and company loyalty.
Exactly. You might even face resistance from colleagues
Really?
who see your growing influence as a threat.
That makes sense.
He even shares a story about a company's communications department diluting his case study
Wow.
to control the messaging.
Not everyone embraces this entrepreneurial spirit.
True. So be prepared for some pushback.
Okay, so awareness is key.
And if you need to be more subtle,
Yeah.
maybe focus on sharing your knowledge within your team.
Instead of company-wide.
Add value without rocking the boat.
It's about strategy.
Gothelf is all about practical advice, not just abstract concepts.
He even gives tips on pricing and marketing workshops.
He wants to help people succeed.
I love that it feels genuine.
It does.
So we've talked about claiming your expertise, sharing your story, navigating new paths.
Right.
What's next in the forever employable journey?
Step 4 is all about teach.
Teaching. Interesting. Does that mean I have to become a professor?
Not at all.
Okay.
Gothelf emphasizes that teaching in any form is a powerful way to solidify expertise.
It forces you to really understand something.
When you have to explain it to someone else,
Okay.
it could be writing blog posts, creating videos, mentoring colleagues.
Or just explaining a concept to a friend.
Exactly.
He mentions that he had this epiphany. He did that he was already teaching through his content creation.
And wish he'd embraced it sooner.
So how do we become better teachers?
Gothelf recommends learning from the greats in your field,
Okay.
analyzing what makes them effective.
He actually studied Guy Kawasaki and Jared Spool.
2 fantastic speakers.
So he's learning from the best.
Always improving.
And he says there are so many avenues for teaching.
Workshops, conferences, webinars, podcasts, articles.
Something for everyone.
And the benefits are numerous.
Like what?
Refining your knowledge, honing your storytelling skills,
Okay.
and creating new opportunities.
It's a win-win.
Teaching reinforces your expertise and expands your network.
I love that. So we've covered claiming territory, sharing our journey, navigating new paths, embracing teaching.
Rehab.
What's the final piece of this forever employable puzzle?
The last step is the most unexpected one. Give it all away.
Give it all away, huh? That sounds a little crazy.
I know, right?
Why would you give away all your hard-earned knowledge?
Well, Gothelf argues that sharing your knowledge freely
Is the most effective way to build your platform and attract opportunities.
it does sound counterintuitive. How does that work?
So he uses this analogy of Amazon.
Okay.
They operate on like really thin margins to offer those low prices.
Right.
And they dominate the market.
Mm.
So it's this idea of giving incredible value, which
Yeah.
leads to long-term success.
So when he says give it all away, he means like share your insights freely.
Exactly, like blog posts, videos,
Yeah.
articles, even templates or tools.
So you're positioning yourself as this like generous expert,
Right, someone who genuinely wants to help others.
not expecting anything in return.
Exactly, and Gothelf also emphasizes owning your platform,
Okay.
like having your own website.
So not just relying on social media.
Right, because those platforms can change their algorithms or even disappear.
That's true. You don't have control.
He quotes tech investor Fred Wilson, who said, "Don't be a Google bitch, be your own bitch."
Wow. Okay, so own your content, own your future.
Yes, but then how do you stay relevant?
Yeah.
Especially if you're self-employed. Like, how do you know what's coming next?
Gothelf really stresses the importance of always learning,
Okay.
engaging in those industry conversations and adapting.
So it's ongoing.
It is, and he even admits to having moments of doubt
Really?
about whether the opportunities will keep coming.
That's kind of reassuring, actually.
I think so too. It makes him more human.
Yeah, that even he feels that way sometimes.
But ultimately, he believes that by consistently putting out valuable content
Right.
and nurturing that community, the work will find him.
And that's the core of being forever employable.
That's it.
This has been a fascinating look at Gothelf's philosophy. Any final thoughts?
For me, the biggest takeaway is that forever employable, it's not a destination.
Right.
It's a journey. It's this ongoing process of growth, adaptability, and generosity.
And it's about taking control of your career, whether you're inside an organization or out on your own.
And his 5 steps provide such a practical framework.
Let's recap those steps for our listeners.
We started with plant a flag.
Defining your expertise and building that platform.
Then there's tell your story.
Connecting with your audience authentically.
Follow the new path.
Embracing new opportunities and taking those risks.
Speech.
Mastering your subject and making connections.
And finally, Give it all away.
Sharing your knowledge to build your reputation.
Exactly.
So for all of you listening out there,
Think about your own career aspirations.
your skills,
Yeah.
your passions,
And don't be intimidated if you think your niche isn't unique.
your personal experience is what sets you apart.
So what's one tiny step you can take this week?
Maybe write a blog post, share a tip on social media.
Or have a conversation with someone in your field.
Every journey starts with a single step.
The sooner you start, the sooner you'll see results.
If you want to learn more, check out Gothelf's book, Forever Employable.
It's full of great insights.
And in the meantime, keep experimenting, keep learning, and keep connecting.
That's the essence of this forever employable mindset.
A journey of continuous growth.
So go out there, plant your flag, tell your story, and create your forever employable future.
We're here to support you every step of the way. Thanks for joining us.